doing pretty consistent for a year because they know where to find you. So you don't have a problem getting somebody else hooked on it. You don't want your kids hooked on it or you hooked on it because it's out of sight, out of mind. Here's your thing. Give me my money. On to the next thing, right?
We are here on the matter of the state of Ohio versus Daniel Barber. We are set today for a sentencing hearing. We were previously here on May 8th when the defendant pled guilty to 3 counts of trafficking and cocaine.
I'll be brief. We're here this morning hat in hand. I know my client has a history, and it's more specifically, he's got a history with this particular court. Previously, he was granted community control, although, yes, he did complete that successfully. Obviously, he's gotten himself into more trouble and is in front of Your Honor again. Your Honor, my client, I don't think is an evil person. Obviously, he makes a lot of very poor choices, though. Was doing what he thought he needed to do to get by. Obviously, that's wrong. And I've talked to him, and he's told me that I think he's in his mid-30s now, and he's like, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to sit in jail. I don't want to have to go to court. He has a family. He has a state. If the court were to consider a community controlled sanction, he does have a stable residence here in Lake County. He has a job lined up. He said it was a union job. My apologies to the court. I don't recall which one, but he has a job lined up.
Mr. Barber, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
First of all, I want to apologize to the court. I want to apologize to you too, O'Donnell, by even coming back here for a sentencing again. I take full responsibility in my actions. I know what I was.
Tell me how you take responsibility for your actions?
I know what I was doing was wrong.
Then why'd you do it?
That's what I was about to get to. I want to start by saying I started off with a job. I had a job. I had a good job. I paid off all my fines. I got my license like you asked me to. I paid like $3,000 in fines to get my license. I got a car. I was taking care of my twins. I was taking care of my daughter. I was taking care of my household for real. I slipped and fell at work, and right before they were supposed to be compensating me at work for missing work a lot by having to go to the doctor, that I got laid off. When I got laid off, it started getting a little hard for me. I started falling back in debt. I started taking out loans, all type of stuff. Like, I just kept getting more and more in debt. I ended up losing my car by getting presents and stuff for Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. Come up with a way to keep my lights on, heat for my girl put me out. All type of stuff was just going on. So that's why I take full responsibility in what I did, because I knew it was wrong, but I should have called my old probation officer, which she told me to call her if I ever got into any.
Who was that?
I think her name was Haley. I forgot the first one I had, but Haley was my second one. And she told me to call her if I ever got into any trouble or I needed some help with anything. And I forgot all about that, for real. You give me one more chance on some supervision, because that's what really keeps me out of trouble. Like, me being supervised.
You're 34 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Can't supervise you forever.
Right.
I mean, that's been tried, right? Over and over and over again since 2009.
Yeah.
How long have you been dealing drugs?
10 years.
Why were you dealing drugs if you were working as a machinist?
No, you're talking about how long this time?
Well, yeah. How long this time?
Probably like for the last year.
Okay. So you got cocaine, you got fentanyl. What else you got?
That's all.
That's all. Where were you getting it?
Off the street.
Which street? Drenick?
No.
East 100th?
Probably Cleveland.
Why are you dealing drugs if you have the ability to earn $20 an hour?
Well, it was just it was hard for me to find another job too, because I filled out a lot of applications, but all the calls came back. It was from Solon and Lakewood and places that was far in the wintertime. Basically, it was like, and then I lost my car, so it was hard for me to get out to Solon and stuff like that. And then one of the jobs I went to in like Wickliffe around my area.
God, I had a guy named Jared Bell who was on probation a few years back. Lived in Cleveland, had custody of his minor child, took buses out to Solon where he worked every day. Pain in the ass, but he did it. Got off of probation, successfully completed it.
Well, I feel like I can do that.
Well,
I feel like I can
you
try
should
to
have
do
done
it.
that instead of dealing drugs. Okay?
Right.
Because who you selling to?
You're right.
I mean, who are you selling to?
Some guy named Mike Thompson.
Well, I know on this occasion, but you were selling to a bunch of people, right?
No, that was it.
That was it? You only sold to him?
Mm-hmm.
He's the only guy you sold to. How long have you been selling to him?
10 years. I knew him for like 10 years.
He's the only guy you sold to.
No, not per se.
Well, not. What does that mean? Now, I asked you who you were selling to, and you said the only guy you sold to was this Thompson guy.
I don't know everybody. I don't know names.
Okay, how many guys you been selling to? How many people you been selling to?
Recently?
In the last 2 years.
Probably like 3 or 4.
How much money you make off of that in the last 2 years?
Not much.
Not much, but you were doing it to make money. So what else were you doing for money when you got fired from the machine job?
I was gambling. I was gambling on sports bets, which I was losing more money.
That's why gambling exists, for the house to win.
Yeah, I learned that. I stopped. I cut gambling out. I don't gamble. No, I don't gamble.
What kind of drugs you use?
I don't use drugs. I only just got my marijuana, my medical card for my shoulders, my back pains.
So was this a regular thing you did? Was use the Clark gas station to do your transactions? Because 3 out of 4 were at Clark, right? Or was one at the house? I can't remember. I lost track.
No, it was mostly up at Clark gas station.
So you just walk from the house over to Clark, do your deal, and go home.
Yeah, if I probably was somewhere else.
Who was your supplier?
I didn't have a supplier.
Then where'd you get the drugs?
From friends on the street in Cleveland.
So you would buy a bunch from them and then sell it to whoever wanted to buy it from you?
Not per se buy it from them. I probably would just ask them for it to help me out so I can get some extra money.
So the suppliers are giving their drugs away? That doesn't seem likely to me or believable.
I mean, I was though. I definitely.
There's a lot of generous drug dealers out there?
To me, probably. I don't know. I don't think so.
This isn't your first go around with trafficking, right?
Possessions, no.
Trafficking?
No.
You never had a trafficking before?
Yeah, I had one, but...
In 2009, you had a trafficking in Cuyahoga.
It was a dime sack of weed when I first was like 18. I sold an undercover a bag of weed.
A number of misdemeanors until through 11, and you got an attempted burglary in 11 in Cuyahoga County.
Yeah, it was more of us receiving stolen property, but I copped out to it because my friend had passed away. So they told me if I go to CBCF, then they would expunge it, and I guess it never got expunged. But I completed the program, and they never expunged it.
What were the probation violations for when you were on probation for that?
Failure to report, I think.
Why did you fail to report?
I think it was more transportation.
Then a few more misdemeanors, 13, 14, and 15. Then a drug possession, F5, and 15 in Cuyahoga. What was that all about?
I think I probably got caught with some marijuana. I can't really remember.
You were put in a CBCF on that occasion and failed to complete it. What happened there?
A CBCF? No, I completed all my CBCF.
That's not what that case is reporting out.
I don't know what that means. I completed my CBCF.
August 25th, 2018, probation violation for failure to complete CBCF. Probation terminated.
Yeah, I don't know what that is about because I completed it.
And after that, or actually in 15, you got a drug abuse, 17 drugs, misdemeanors.
Yeah, I completed that, so I don't know.
Weapons under disability here in 20 offense, put on probation in 23. Hanging around with Okema Seeley. For some reason, I let you off early. My mistake.
It wasn't your mistake. I did what I was supposed to do for you. I did.
Apparently, I wasn't very perceptive if you've been dealing drugs that whole time. But so you get off of probation, and you got your chance to start over again, and you're dealing drugs again. You've been sliding through for a long time. You didn't seem all too interested in this whole process when I sent you over to probation.
When?
May 8th.
And you sent me to probation on May 8th.
Uh-huh.
I did.
Mr. Clement, how interested was he in this process of completing this report?
Certain sections he did indulge or explain what was going on. I asked a couple times in regards to what happened with the scenario with the dealing charges, trafficking charges, and what I got from him was I was caught stealing drugs. That went to elaborate on the case. I asked him if he had to tell me the story, how he ended up with the charge, how did you end up here. That was a response that I got. And then in regards to drug and alcohol piece, I asked if he had any drug and alcohol use, including marijuana, and he reported not to me.
I did. I said I have my marijuana card. I don't have no. I didn't.
Why don't you use other drugs?
I just don't use drugs.
I know, but why?
I mean, because I feel like you can get addicted to it.
Right. So you don't have a problem getting other people addicted to it. You just don't want it because you know it's a negative, but you don't have any problem selling fentanyl to other people, right? Or cocaine or whatever else is in it. I'm sure that you verify whenever you got cocaine, were given cocaine from suppliers that there was nothing other than cocaine in it, right?
Yes.
No. How would you verify that? You have some lab in your basement that you were testing this stuff?
No.
You're peddling whatever you're peddling, you have no idea what it is, and some of it's fentanyl.
All right.
And you know that you're hooking people, but you don't care about that. You just want to make a little bit of money, and you were, by your own admission, just a little bit of money, not a lot of money.
Right. I feel bad about it though.
Well, you should feel bad about it. Anything else you want to tell me?
I'm kind of nervous, man, because I ain't got none support here today. So,
well, where's your support?
That's about it. They was gonna come here, but our court date got pushed up to today. It was yesterday. My court date was tomorrow. So my grandmother, my kids, and my girl wasn't able to show up today. Well, I couldn't contact them because the phone was off early in the morning. But they was gonna be here tomorrow, and I was gonna show you how I was taking care of my daughter in boxing classes. Show you some of the videos that she was doing. You was gonna be able to meet my twins.
What? Your twins are 18, right?
19.
19. You got a problem if somebody's out there dealing drugs to your fentanyl or cocaine to your twins?
Absolutely.
Why? Why can you do it and somebody else can't do it?
I mean, because I wouldn't want my kids to be hooked on drugs either.
Okay, why do you have no problem hooking other people on drugs then? Those are somebody else's kids, right? Somebody else's father, brother,
I do have a problem with it.
son.
I do have.
Why did you do it? You've been doing it for 10 years. And you've been doing pretty, leaving alone the 10-year thing, you've been doing pretty consistent for a year because they know where to find you. So you don't have a problem getting somebody else hooked on it. You don't want your kids hooked on it or you hooked on it because it's out of sight, out of mind. Here's your thing. Give me my money. On to the next thing, right?
Pretty much.
All right, have a seat, Mr. Knopf.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's recommending that the defendant serve a prison term. I know you went over his history before, but he does have 5 prior felonies. So the defendant has not responded favorably to previously imposed community control sanctions, though I will say he was terminated once successfully from probation. He has eluded prison for all those felonies. He does have multiple misdemeanor charges on top of those felonies. And I think it does make it worse that the defendant does not even have a drug problem himself. He has been using the marijuana, but again, he's selling this to random members of our society. So I don't see anything that makes this less serious. There was an aggravating factor for being close to a school in one of the counts. So again, the state's recommending a prison term.
As I've spent some time here going through Mr. Barber's record, which goes back to the first trafficking offense in 2009, and as Mr. Knopf indicated, a total of 5 felonies, and you've always been given the opportunity to get your act together, and you haven't taken advantage of it by virtue of the fact that you're here again for peddling cocaine, fentanyl, and who knows what else to other people. You tell me you don't do those kind of drugs because you don't want to get hooked, that you would take offense to people selling it to your 19-year-olds because you don't want them getting hooked, but you don't care if anybody else gets hooked because you're making money off it. So you are not amenable to community control. On count 1, I'm going to sentence you to 12 months in prison. Count 2, 16 months in prison. Count 3, 12 months in prison. Count 6, 17 months in prison. You get credit for 93 days served. Counts 2 and 6 will be consecutive to each other. Counts 1 and 3 will be concurrent to each other and concurrent to counts 2 and 6. So it's a total of 33 months with credit for 93 days. And the costs are assessed when you get out. You may be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with consecutive services necessary to protect the public from future crime by you and to give you the appropriate punishment, and they are not disproportionate to the seriousness of your offenses and and the danger you pose to the public, and your history of criminal conduct demonstrates that consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public from future crime by you. The remaining charges are dismissed. Anything subject to forfeiture is forfeited to the state. Anything else, Mr. Knopf?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Watson?
Nothing further, Your Honor.